We welcome you to George Sparky Anderson Field here for Week 6 cap as the Arroyo Seco Saints face off versus the Arroyo for the second of a two-game weekend series alongside Sammy Fawn. I'm Judo Canias, and the Arroyo got a win yesterday, a 7-5 win on the road for their third road win of the season against the Arroyo Seco Saints. They'll look to now make it 2 games straight versus the Arroyo Seco Saints as now we end Week 6 and we're heading towards a California Collegiate League break for 3 days. But Sammy, what do you make of this game and how can the Oaks finish in a strong way today?
Yeah, definitely. The Oaks, even though they got the win yesterday, it was a very scrappy game. It was a very dramatic game. And, you know, the Saints, they're definitely not happy with the way they lost at all yesterday, especially, you know, by that 9th inning where the Oaks scored 3 runs. And at the same time, the Oaks, they're not completely satisfied with how the game went either because they had a very rough 6th inning. But, you know, I expect to see a lot of clean and strong baseball today, and you know that the Saints are hungry for a win to get their revenge against the Oaks, and at the same time the Oaks are just as hungry to continue to fight hard and play the way they do.
Certainly. Well, the Saints come into this game with an even 13-13 record as the Oaks move into this game at 18-9, just 2 games behind the Santa Barbara Foresters for first place in the California Collegiate League. And we'll take you now to the field as this is the 6th of 7 meetings between these two teams. Thus far, the Oaks have really controlled this season series as they are 4-1 versus the Saints. They've won 2 of those games at Jackie Robinson Field, and the other 2 wins and 1 loss came here at George Sparky Anderson Field. And on the mound first for the Arroyo Oaks is Cody Carson, making his 4th start of the season, his 5th appearance. He has a 1-1 record. He's pitched a total of 14 innings. As we last saw Cody Carson on July 6th versus the Philippines Baseball Group, where he recorded his 1 win of the season, pitched 4 innings, just allowed 2 hits, 3 walks, and had 6 strikeouts in the 16 batters he faced, as it's Lane Hayworth at the plate first. So he hits a high fly ball into foul territory off to the left. Holly tries to retrieve, but it's going to get out of the field of play, so counts 0-1. And get to your batting order for the Saints here on July 13th, a beautiful Sunday in Thousand Oaks, California. It's Lane Hayworth. Due up next is Trotter Enright, then Jax Ryan, and in the middle is Jacob Freer, Joey Milto, Jackson Reed, as it hits the outside corner for a strike. And then in your last 3, it's Levi Medella, Keon Moseni, and Johnny Garber in the cleanup spot today for the Saints. Pretty much the same lineup we saw last night versus the Oaks. The only change, Cody Turner not in the rotation. It's a swing and a miss by Lane Hayworth. It's a 3-pitch strikeout to begin things for the Oaks, and Cody Carson now gets his 18th strikeout of the season.
Yeah, good start right there for Cody Carson, seeking his 2nd win of the season, dealing with an even record. And you know, he's had some good outings. His game high was 5 innings back on June 22nd on the road against the MLB Academy Barons.
As it's now Trotter Enright takes a ball outside. So yeah, the one change is we saw Cody Turner as the designated hitter in the loss yesterday for the Saints. Jax Ryan is now that designated hitter. Jacob Freer moves from 2nd to 3rd base, and Keon Musini takes the role at 2nd base. It's a 1-0 pitch. Hits the outside corner once again for a strike. Counts 1-1. And to get to your defensive things, Cody Carson on the mound, like I mentioned, for his 4th start. It's Anthony Thomas behind the dish, Nolan Johnson at first base, Jonah Dawson at 2nd, Ethan Gonzalez and Tyler Hawley on the left infield. As it's low for a ball, counts now 2-1. And then from left to right, we got Jake Schwartz, Tommy Kenlinger, and Lucas Danuitz. And Tommy Kenlinger returning to action for the Oaks after missing the past few games due to personal reasons. The 2-1 is swung on. It's a high fly ball onto left field. Jake Schwartz going to move up from his post in left field and make the out. So 2 outs for the Oaks. And the Arroyo Seco Saints currently in 4th place in the California Collegiate League, as it's now Jax Ryan moving up onto the plate. Jax Ryan yesterday finished, he was 1 for 3 with a double, a walk, and a hit by pitch. The designated hitter today, working on a 3-game hitting streak, batting .211. The first pitch to Ryan. Takes a strike on the outside. A good framing job right there by Anthony Thomas.
I will say, for a while, the Saints were ahead of the Orange County Riptide as they held 4th for a while. switch places, standings change a bit throughout the season.
The 0-1. It's inside for a ball. Well, yeah, you just talked about it, but the Orange County Riptide have really turned around what has been a strong week of baseball for them. They are currently on a 5-game win streak as that's chopped to third base. Holly on the move. The throw to first is in time. It's a 5-3 put out to get out of this inning as Cody Carson retires the side. We head to the bottom of the first. We'll see the Oaks offense up next. And it's the leadoff man, Ethan Gonzalez, to get things started for the Oaks as Cody Carson was able to retire the side in quite a quick top of the first inning. And again, to your batting order, it's Ethan Gonzalez, then due up next, Tyler Hawley, Devin Wilkes, Nolan Johnson, Jake Schwartz, Lucas Daniewicz, and then your last three is Anthony Thomas, Jonah Dawson, and Tommy Kendlinger. The first pitch from Erdman in the dirt for a ball, 1-0. Erdman on the mound today. He has a 3-1 record, a 1.22 ERA. The senior from Texas Tech University has pitched a total of 22 innings, making his 6th start of the season. The 1-0 gets the outside corner for a strike. Counts now 1-1. A good framing job once again by Garber. It's the second time that Erdman has faced off versus the Oaks. His first appearance was back on June 15th. The 1-1. It's fouled off into the dirt by Ethan Gonzalez. Counts now 1-2. And in that game, he pitched a total of 3 innings. He was the pitcher of record. That was his 1 loss of the season. 2 runs, 0 of those being earned. Allowed 5 hits, 2 walks, and had 2 strikeouts in the 17 batters he faced. Most recently pitched on July 6th versus the Foresters. The 1-2 to Gonzalez. Upstairs for a ball. Counts now 2-2. And to your defensive things, it's Johnny Garber behind the dish. Levi Medella at first base. Keon Museni at second. Trotter Enright at short. Jacob Freer at third. And then from left to right in your outfield is Jackson Reed, Lane Hayworth, and Joey Milto. The 2-2. As that swung on, it's going to be a ground ball into right field as it's a leadoff single for Ethan Gonzalez. Collects his 19th hit of the season, and the Oaks are on the board. The bags.
Yeah, great opposite field approach there. You saw Gonzalez take that 2-seam fastball from Zach Erdman and just go the other way. He hit it hard into right field. He's on to start things off in the bottom of the first for the Oaks.
So brings up Tyler Hawley, and while he has certainly had himself a weekend, Sammy, he's hit back-to-back home runs. Had a home run versus the Foresters on Friday, and another home run yesterday. He's now up to 3 home runs on the season. And the Oaks have had quite a few long balls just in this past week. It's the first pitch from Erdman. Swing and a miss from Hawley.
Yeah, I think if Hawley had achieved this feat earlier with his multiple home runs, he could have been in the home run derby.
Yeah, certainly so. Well, the Oaks in the last 3 meetings versus Saints have hit a home run. Or at least 1 home run, I should say. Really 4 home runs, because a 2 home runs yesterday, as that's a ground ball to second base. Musini, a sliding throw on the run. It's going to get the first out as Ethan Gonzalez advances to second base.
Yeah, that's a great play by Keon Musini, ranging to his left as he realizes alertly that he has just 1 play and not a great chance of getting Gonzalez at second, but you know, both Holly and Musini do their jobs against one another, and the Oaks have a runner in scoring position with 1 out.
Yeah, and that brings the way to Devin Wilkes, batting .351 on the season, has 15 RBIs, leads the team with 26 hits. 1 out, 1 on. The first pitch to Wilkes. Looks at a strike on the outside corner. It's the one thing we've seen a lot of Wilkes. That was the first time he's kind of stayed patient at the plate on the first pitch. His numbers that we've seen, he's swings 68% of the time on first pitches, but now it's an 0-1 count to Wilkes. That swung on out into left field, and Reed is going to get under it to make the play. So it's 2 down for the Saints. So after the single, Erdman has been able to retire the next 2, as that one was hit out into left field.
Yeah, Jackson Reed, we saw him make his first appearance against the Oaks in last night's game and record what are now his 3rd hits of the season.
It's now Nolan Johnson comes into this game on a 3-game hitting streak. He's batting .314 on the season. So now 2 outs, 1 on. First pitch for the right-hander. That's fouled back. So 4 home runs in the last 3 meetings versus the Saints. It was Jake Schwartz and Tyler Hawley who homered yesterday. It then was Jax Jimenez who homered back on June 25th, and Jacob Galloway who homered on June 24th. So the Oaks have had a lot to cheer about when they face off against the team from Pasadena. It's the 0-1 pitch to Johnson. That's fouled off to the right again as he goes low to get that one. So this will be the final game that these 2 teams will meet here at Jackie Robinson Memorial Field. They'll have, or I'm sorry, at George Sparky Anderson Field. They'll have 1 more game at Jackie Robinson Memorial Field, I should say. It's now an 0-2 pitch to Johnson. 2 outs, 2 on. The payoff. Just outside for a ball. Counts now 1-2.
Yeah, Nolan Johnson, obviously we saw his brother Nate Johnson weeks ago move out with an injury, but Johnson, he's been a loud bat at the plate for the Oaks and very consistent. We saw him hit a double last night.
Certainly also a good defensive player at first base and behind the dish. The 1-2 to Johnson. Grounds that to shortstop. Enright gets under it. His throw in time to first base as it gets the 3rd out. So after allowing a leadoff single, Erdman retires the next 3, and we head to the top of the 2nd. We're squared away at 0. Back here at George Sparky Anderson Field, as it's already 1 inning down, no score, and just 1 hit from both teams. That's the leadoff hit by Ethan Gonzalez was a single moved over to second base on a ground out by Tyler Hawley, but Zach Erdman was able to do work and retire the next 3. So Cody Carson begins his 2nd inning of action. It's now Jacob Freer at the plate, shows bunt, pulls back, takes the ball upstairs, counts 1-0. Jacob Freer coming into this game batting .318. 20 runs, 27 hits, which is 3rd on the team with 17 RBIs. Looking at a 1-0 count right now. Takes another ball upstairs as that one gets out of the glove of Anthony Thomas, rolls back to the backstop as starting pitcher yesterday, Alex Umland, collects the ball, who had quite the game. He had season-high 7 strikeouts, and really, Sammy, he led, he didn't get the win, but he pretty much led the Oaks to an impressive win. Or win nonetheless, as that's outside for a ball. You got a chance to speak to him after the game, too.
I certainly did. Yeah, he said he definitely felt good about the win and having thrown 4 shutout innings and, just reiterating credit to the team with the Oaks. The team always says the Oaks are hot. And they're used to playing in hot weather here at George Sparky Anderson Field. Always, game times are always during the day. No lights here at George Sparky Anderson Field.
So it's up to a 3-1 count to Freer. Takes a strike on the outside. It's now up to a full count as Cody Carson tries to work back into this count. Jacob Freer comes into this game working on a 4-game hitting streak, but yeah, it was the exact moment after Alex Umland left, as it's a payoff pitch from Carson. It's going to be chopped foul off to the right. That's when a nightmare started for the Oaks in that 6th inning. We saw 5 straight walks, or I should say just 5 straight free passes. It was 4 walks and a hit by pitch. Allowed the Saints to pretty much get back into the game and tied at 3. The 3-2 pitch. Outside for a ball, so it's a leadoff walk to begin the 2nd inning for Jacob Freer. And then up now is Joey Milto, who's going to look to rebound after one of his tougher games of the season where he went 0 for 5 at the plate, had 2 strikeouts, and he's one of the stronger hitters on his team. He's batting .329, has 22 runs with 26 hits and 25 RBIs, and leads the team with 4 home runs, which would be 2nd in all of the California Collegiate League, just behind first place Tommy Gooden. The first pitch to Milto. Takes a strike outside. So Joey Milto, a senior at Bellarmine University, was academic all-ASUN team. Jumps that foul off to the right. He was a college sports communications academic all-district team too as well. Batted .264, had played 55 games, started in 52 of those. And 42 hits, 10 doubles, 3 triples, and 5 home runs. So another home run this summer would tie what he did in 52 games in college. The 0-1. Swung on, it's a fly ball out into center field. Kendlinger just moves up a little, able to make the play, so a welcome back play for Tommy Kendlinger.
Yeah, I bet he's missed that. Being away for so long, and he's missed in center field too. His range in center field, and
yep.
Of course, don't get me wrong, Jax Jimenez has done very well with filling in his position, but that just goes to show no 2 outfielders are the same, and nobody covers a position like one player does.
It's now Jackson Reed, the left fielder. Well, Tommy Kendlinger, it's his first game in 8 days. That's low for a ball, counts 1-0. He last appeared versus the Waves in the 5-4 win, which would be last Saturday. The 1-0 pitch swung on. It's a short pop fly out into shallow right field, and Jonah Dawson able to collect as he moves towards his back and gets the 2nd out.
Yeah, Dawson, good range there at second base. We saw him come in as a pinch runner late in the game yesterday, but you've seen his versatility on the field, playing in left field, second base, third base, and at Cal Lutheran, I've even seen him play first base.
So now Levi Medella, the first baseman, batting .315 on the season with 12 runs and
28 hits. As it's a check at first base, and Freer slides back safely. So the one thing for the Oaks is they're going to really have to clean up defensive errors. It's been an issue we've seen throughout this week, as that's low and inside for a ball. And it's been both the road and home games. It hasn't just been, you know, the dirt here that has caused those errors, just a little bit of sloppiness from the infield. Luckily yesterday, the Oaks were able to respond in a big way and pull out a 7-5 win after a huge play from Brady Hewitt in the 9th inning. The 1-0 outside for a ball. It was just a short chopper. He hit the third base. The throw from the third baseman, Jax Ryan, just got over the head of Levi Medella, ended up clearing what was a bases loaded for the Oaks, and pretty much provided that security into the bottom of the 9th inning. The 2-0 pitch. Low and outside for another ball. Counts now 3-0.
Yeah, I think on that play, Ryan just pressed too hard on the gas there. You know, you're not gonna, chances are, get Hewitt at first. And you know, even if one run scored and Hewitt was safe, I think it would be a different ball game in the bottom of the 9th, because Saints ended up scoring a couple runs.
It's upstairs for ball 4. So now 2 walks in this inning for the Saints. Has a runner at second and first. Brings up Keon Musini, the only new player to the Saints batting order today. He takes over the second base duties. That is now Jacob Freer, who is at third base. Batting .230 on the season with 14 hits. Looks at a strike inside. Well, 4 of those 14 hits have gone for doubles for Musini, which is third on the Saints this season. It's an 0-1 pitch. 2 outs, 2 on. Takes the ball low.
Yeah, Keon Musini, rising senior at the University of Central Arkansas, where he transferred after 2 years at Antelope Valley College.
Originally from Ontario, Canada. The 1-1 pitch to Musini. Takes one inside and high for a ball. Counts now 2 balls, 1 strike. So we already talked about the Oaks just in second place in the California Collegiate League South Division at 18-9. 2-1 pitch. Upstairs for ball 3. As Carson's, even with 2 outs, dealing with a little bit of traffic right here, and another walk would load the bases for the Saints. Big opportunity in the second inning. The 3-1 pitch from Carson. That's swung on. It's a drive in to second base as Dawson flips it over to Nolan Johnson to get the third out of the inning. So Cody Carson leaves 2 stranded, and we head to the bottom of the second. And still no score. Head back to the bottom of the second inning here at George Sparky Anderson Field, and a shout out to our sponsor, Pizza Man Dan's, located in Ventura County with 6 different locations. Get your hot pie now as Jake Schwartz gets things started at the plate for the Oaks, as we saw just 4 batters in that first inning, the leadoff single, and then that was pretty much it for the Oaks offensively, as Schwartz a swing and a miss. Chases one downstairs as Erdman now in his second inning of action.
Schwartz ripped a home run over the right field fence last night against Chris Hernandez-Valdez, and the ball was crushed out to right field.
So an 0-1 count to Schwartz. That swung on, a short chopper to second base. Mussini charges towards it and just flips underhand to get the first down, as it's a 4-3 putout. Yeah, you talk about that, Sammy. Well, the Oaks in the past 6 games have 4 total home runs, and it's just Jake Schwartz and Tyler Harley to thank for that. Jake Schwartz has had a home run versus the Philippines baseball group on July 6th, and then, yeah, the home run yesterday that he crushed to right field. And Tyler Harley, obviously, with back-to-back home runs. That would actually put up the Oaks home run total to now 10 on the season. Tied for 4th in all of the California Collegiate League, as it's Lucas Danuitz at the plate. The 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Now an 0-1 count. Danuitz did not start, but made an appearance as a pinch hitter yesterday versus the Saints. The 0-1 pitch is chopped foul off to the left.
Yeah, essentially, after Jake Schwartz hit his home run, Danuitz took over defensively for him, making the switch to right field, which at the time moved Isaac Veal to left field. So essentially, Schwartz, upon hitting a home run, was off duty.
It's now an 0-2 pitch to Danuitz. Takes the ball outside. Well, Danuitz, in just his one plate appearance yesterday, was hit by a pitch and then eventually brought home as part of that Brady Hewitt special where he cleared the bases. Danuitz this season batting .250. The 1-2 pitch. The payoff from Erdman. That swung on. It's a fly ball out into left center field. Reed tries to get over to it, and he can as it drops down for a base hit. And Danuitz is going to hold at first. Thought about going to second, but the incoming throw from Hayworth held him just for a single. So it's a 1-out single for Danuitz, who now gets out of what was a 2-game hitting slump. Gets his first hit in 3 games as a starter.
Yeah, and that was a tremendous effort out in left field by Jackson Reed. He just came up a little bit short, and then fortunately for him, the ball was picked up quickly by Lane Hayworth to keep Danuitz at first. He can run.
It's now Anthony Thomas, the catcher today. Looks at a ball inside, and well, Anthony Thomas started really this season as the everyday catcher, and then the additions of a Jacob Galloway, Nolan Johnson, even we've seen Jose Vasquez has decreased his time behind the dish, but certainly still making an impact nonetheless as he starts today. So it's a 1-0 count, 1 on, 1 out. Swing and a miss. Chases the fastball inside. Thomas this season batting .200 with 3 runs and 4 hits. Has two RBIs and 3 walks. He's looking at a 1-1 count now as it's 1 on, 1 out. The 1-1 pitch. As he takes a strike inside. It's now up to a 1-2 count.
Yeah, I think the Oaks, they'd like to see more production from Thomas at the plate. Seen what he can do behind the plate, and he's got some hits, but I think Galloway, you know, a guy who's gotten a lot of hits, has set a good standard.
The 1-2. That's fouled back. As it's Jonah Dawson due up next. So it's now 2 hits on the day for the Oaks, as Gonzalez with the leadoff in the first inning, and Lucas Danuitz with another single just moments ago. So it's a 1-2 count now to Anthony Thomas. The payoff pitch from Erdman. Thomas fouls that straight back again, just gets the bat to make contact to stay alive here with a 1-2 count. Well, this is the final game before a 3-day break in the California Collegiate League for both the Saints and the Oaks. The 1-2 pitch to Thomas. Takes the ball outside. Garber tried to do his best to frame that right there. It's all part of the California Collegiate League Showcase game and Home Run Derby that is taking place on July 16th at MLB Youth Academy in Compton, California. The 2-2 pitch. That's chopped into the dirt for another foul ball, as Thomas putting up a good fight right here versus Erdman.
Yeah, he's getting his money's worth here, trying to make him work and, you know, build up that experience at the plate. And yeah, something the Oaks do well. As they see more pitches, they get more of a feel for the pitcher and know how to adjust their timings.
The first time these two have matched up in Thomas and Erdman. The 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He chases the high cheese upstairs. He gets the first strikeout of the day for Zachary Erdman. He's now up to 18 strikes on the season. Leads way to the right-hander, Jonah Dawson, the second baseman, batting 182 on the season. Most recently saw him at second base in the 16-6 win versus the San Francisco Seagulls on Thursday. So it's 2 outs now, 1 on. Dawson looks at a fastball outside. Counts now 1-0.
Jonah Dawson, a rising junior at California Lutheran University, coming off a very impressive 36-game season and 36-hit season. He had 7 doubles and 2 triples.
The 1-0 pitch to Dawson. Grounds that to third base as Jacob Freer collects in his glove and gets the throw to first in time. So after a single from Lucas Danielitz, Erdman is able to retire the next 2 via a strikeout and a ground out. We head to the top of the 3rd inning, still squared away at 0. Back here for the 3rd inning at George Sparky Anderson Field alongside Sammy Fawn and Judo Kanius, and we hope all of you are having a beautiful Sunday afternoon from wherever you may be listening. But here at George Sparky Anderson Field, it's a 0-0 ball game as Cody Carson begins his 3rd inning of action. And it's the bottom of the order, Johnny Garber up first. Takes a fastball upstairs. It's a 1-0 count. Well, last inning for the Saints, they were able to get 2 on, both via a walk. 1-0. Swing and a miss from Garber. Counts now 1 ball, 1 strike. Keon Musini grounded out to second base to get out of that 2nd inning. Garber takes the ball.
Johnny Garber, one of 3 catchers for the Saints, including himself, Matthew Maynard, and J.J. Cannett, who was the starting catcher yesterday. Garber, a rising senior at Arizona State, transferred after 2 years at Paradise Valley Community College.
The 2-1 pitch is inside to be 3-1 now. Well, Garber didn't make any appearances for the Sun Devils this past season. He has 2 seasons at Paradise Valley College, played a collective of 54 games in 2 years. The 3-1, it's upstairs for ball 4. It's a leadoff walk for Johnny Garber. Now the 3rd walk of the day allowed by Cody Carson. Brings us back to the top of the order, Lane Hayworth, who was the only strikeout victim thus far of Cody Carson's day on the mound. And the Saints certainly want to stake their revenge, especially on a road game. First pitch as Thomas goes back for the pickoff, and the throw's not going to be in time as Garber ran the gamble, was able to successfully get back.
Yeah, Thomas, he fired that thing to first. Throw was just a tad high. Fortunately, Johnson is tall enough and is able to reach out and to jump up and get it.
It's another check at first base, and Lane Hayworth at the plate right now, a junior from Wichita State University, originally from Louisville, Texas. Played in 39 games. The 0-1 is crushed down to right field, but it's going to go foul. And actually ends up into the parking lot and takes a few bounces and potentially hit a car.
Well, that's why they say park there at your own risk. You can park there if you want. CLU will not pay for damage to windshields.
The 0-2 pitch just gets a piece of that to foul that off to the left. Trying to fight and stay alive right here. Well, in 2024, Lane Hayworth was named to the AAC All-Tournament team. He went 3 for 5 in the AAC Championship game versus Tulane, as well as named to the All-Academic team. Played at Herb Byron High School. The 0-2. As it's a live ball as he swung through, and he's going to be able to get over the first base. It is a strikeout, but he does, or now they're calling it a strikeout.
It is a strikeout because first base was occupied,
Yeah.
so the batter is automatically out there with less than 2 outs. If there were 2 outs, then he would not be automatically out. But yeah, and Garber's still able to take second there, even though there is that first base occupied rule. You know, there's no problem there. So, but it is a strikeout for Carson.
Yeah, now his second of the day, up to 14 strikeouts on the season. But now puts a runner in scoring position for the Saints. Now it's Trotter Enright at the plate for the second time today. Popped out to left field. First pitch. Swung on. It's a fly ball out into center field, and Tommy Kendlinger is going to get under it for the second out of the inning.
Yeah, well, Cody Carson, seen certainly a lot of good production from him this season. His win came in his last outing on July 6th last week against Philippines Baseball Group. He did not allow a run. Pitched 4 shutout innings, allowed just 2 hits, and struck out 6.
It's now Jax Ryan, who's working with 2 outs. A runner on second base is Johnny Garber. Ryan this season, 16 hits, 9 RBIs. The first pitch fouled straight back. It's an 0-1 count. Saints come into this game first in all the California Collegiate League with 268 hits. 5th in the league with 8 home runs. Joey Milto has half of those. The 0-1 pitch. It's low for a ball. Counts now 1-1. Have 165 RBIs as a team, which would put them second in all the California Collegiate League. Another chance to add 1 more. As Ryan looks at a ball upstairs. It's now a 2-1 count. So Cody Carson going to try to get out of another Saint on base here. The 2-1 pitch. Fouls that straight back. It's now an even count at 2, so an opportunity here for Carson to have another inning where he leaves base runners stranded. And with it being the 6 of 7 meetings between these two teams, the Oaks are 4-1. Had quite success quite a lot of success versus a team in Pasadena. It's a 2-2 count, 2 outs, 2 on. The payoff from Carson. Stays patient, looks at a ball inside. It's now up to a full count.
Yeah, good pitch discipline at the plate here from Jax Ryan, and he has certainly great approaches at the plate. Didn't have as great of a night at the plate last night as he probably would have liked to.
The payoff from Carson. It's low for ball 4, so it's another walk. It's the second of this inning that Carson has allowed. It's now 2 base runners on. Leads away to Jacob Freer. Freer, the first player, or the first Saint to walk this game. It's a 0-0 ball game, but the Saints certainly with an opportunity with 2 outs to put the first few runs on the board. The first pitch. It's low for a ball, counts 1-0.
Yeah, Freer had 1 hit in yesterday's game, came in back in the 3rd inning.
A 1-0 count here to Freer. He chops that to second base. Gonzalez, the shortstop, gets under it, takes his time, and the throw is in time for the 3rd out. So it's another inning that Cody Carson does allow 2 walks, but is able to keep those runners stranded. We head to the bottom of the 3rd. Still no score. Here at George Sparky Anderson Field as the Saints and the Oaks facing off for the second to last time this season as Tommy Kendlinger get things started at the plate. Making his first plate appearance in over 8 days, batting .246, has 15 runs, 15 hits, 5 RBIs. 3 of those 15 have gone for doubles. The first pitch. It's outside for a strike.
Yeah, Kendlinger is hitless in his last couple games against the Philippines Baseball Group and San Diego Waves.
Out in center field today in his usual spot, the 0-1 pitch. Swung on, that's gonna find a way into right field as it just follows it. And it's a leadoff double, a light leadoff single for Tommy Kendlinger.
Yeah, it's a great piece of hitting there by Kendlinger. That was quite similar to the base hit. I would even say identical to the base hit that Gonzalez got in the first inning, and he's back up. But, you know, for him to take that outside off-speed pitch, looked like a slider, and he's able to just push that ball hard to right field to get on base.
So it's now 3 hits allowed by Erdman. All have been singles. It's Ethan Gonzalez at the plate, top of the order. Shows bunt, pulls back. It's a check at first base, and the throw is in time. As Garber reacts quickly, is able to pick off Tommy Kendlinger, who got a little too greedy.
Yeah, Kendlinger just got too far off the base here, and Garber, he wasn't even really rushed. He threw it over to first, fired a missile, and Medella, he was able to take his time with the tag and just get Kendlinger.
It's a 1-0 pitch to Gonzalez, fouls that one straight back, counts now 1-1.
Yeah, that's always a tough break to have a runner picked off on the bases. You know,
Yeah.
You get a hit or you work hard to get a runner on, and then it's taken away.
Well, the Saints did their homework because Tommy Kendlinger has a team-leading 7 stolen bases on the season. They know what type of weapon he can be once he gets on the bags. The 1-1 pitch to Gonzalez. It's outside for a ball. Well, the Saints have reached base in their past 2 innings, all via walks. Have yet to record a hit. Both times have been left stranded, and for the Oaks, they've gotten to base all via hits. The 2-1 pitch to Gonzalez. Swing and a miss. Chases out and away. Now an even count at 2. Gonzalez 1 for 1 on the day. Had that leadoff single and then left stranded. The payoff pitch. It's in the dirt for a ball. Counts now full 3-2. Gonzalez, a very decorated high school player at Moore Park High School, Defensive Player of the Year and Male Athlete of the Year in the Ventura County area. The 3-2 pitch to Gonzalez. A high chopper to third base as Freer charges towards it. His throw is in time. It's a beautiful play by the third baseman. He catches it on the hop and gets the out.
Yeah, that's textbook defense by Jacob Freer at third base. He read that ball like a book and then fired a strike to Levi Medella at first base to get the speedy Gonzalez. He can run.
So it's now Tyler Hawley. 0 for 1 today, grounded out to second base. Comes into this game on a 2-game hitting streak as well as a 2 home run streak. The first pitch. Swung on, that's going to just get over the head of Musini for a base hit as it rolls into center field. And it's a 2-out single to keep the Oaks rolling here in the 3rd inning as the Oaks have found ways to get onto the bases today. It'll be for them just capitalizing with runners on the bags, and certainly a guy that has the ability to do that is stepping to the plate, who is Devin Wilkes. .351 on the season with 26 hits and a 3rd best, 15 RBIs. The first pitch from Erdman. He looks at a strike outside. It's got to be interesting, you know, as you know, a baseball player, especially for Wilkes, he hears those statistics with his swinging on a first pitch. If it's more in his mind now not to always chase, but that is still a strike, so it's an 0-1 count to Devin Wilkes. Swung on, hits a fly ball out into center field as moves up to make the play is Lane Hayworth to get the 3rd out. So after 2 hits allowed in the 3rd inning, the Oaks are not able to make anything of it. We head to the top of the 4th, still 0-0. And it's Joey Milto, the fifth man in the batting order for the Saints to get things started here in the fourth inning. We're 1/3 through this game and still scoreless, and still no hits for the Saints as they've all advanced to bases via walks. It's 4 walks that Cody Carson has allowed. The first pitch as Milto hits a hard ball into left field. It's going to drop for a base hit. So it gets the first hit of the day for the Saints.
Yeah, it's a good piece of hitting there by Joey Milto. He did not record a hit in last night's game, so after going hitless, that's got to feel pretty nice for him to be able to get on to start the fourth inning for the Saints.
He's now got a hit in 6 of the last 7 games he's played in. Off he goes to second base. Had a good leadoff, and Thomas is not going to bother making a throw as Milto was pretty much halfway to second base as Cody Carson was winding up for his pitch. It's now the 8th stolen base of the season for Joey Milto. This is a team that is very aggressive when it comes to trying to steal bases. The 1-0 as that's swung on. It's going to be a grounder as Gonzalez gets eaten up by it. It's the first defensive error of the day for the Oaks.
Yeah, unfortunately for Gonzalez, that hop at the last second just came up probably right about almost against his wrist and was not able to pick it up. And, you know, possibly also seeing Joey Milto running to third, that can get in your head a little bit, but no. Saints able to get 2 runners on and see if they can capitalize on that break.
I will say it's starting to become a pattern in the infield for the Oaks with their defensive errors. And Carson's going to have to work out with runners at the corner as Levi Medella looks at a strike inside. It's an 0-1 count. Yeah, there's been quite a few defensive errors throughout this week through the infield for the Oaks. Off goes Reed as Medella swings through, and it's a stolen base for Jackson Reed, now his 4th of the season. So 2 stolen bases in this inning, 1 from Joey Milto and 1 from Jackson Reed. Now has 2 runners in scoring position for the Oaks in an 0-2 count to Levi Medella. The payoff pitch from Carson. Swing and a miss. He chases downstairs as it gets now the 3rd strikeout of the day for Cody Carson, and a needed one after allowing a single and a defensive error.
Yeah, that's a huge strikeout right there, and, you know, Medella can be sure he was feeling the pressure there with 2 strikes, just trying to get 1 run home. And now with 1 out, the Saints have 1 more chance to trade an out for a run.
Now brings Keon Musini, who's up. The left-handed hitter here, who is 0 for 1 on the day, grounded out to second base. The infield is all the way in. Looks at a ball inside. It's a 2-0 count to Musini here, as it's 1 out, 2 on for the Saints. The 2-0 pitch. Swing and a miss from Musini. 2 balls, 1 strike as
middle infield is sort of halfway.
Musini with 7 RBIs on the season. The 2-1. Inside for a ball as Thomas does his best framing job, but still a little too inside. It's a 3-1 count to Musini, who has an opportunity to get the first few runs of this game. 3-1. Chops that foul to the right. It's now up to a full count here for Keon Musini, the senior at Central Arkansas. Another opportunity for Carson. The payoff pitch. It's low for ball 4 as it now loads the bases here with 1 out for the Saints in the top of the 3rd inning. And a real opportunity as they have an opportunity to capitalize. And that was something, Sammy, we saw yesterday, just not able to capitalize in runners in scoring position through the first 5 innings. I mean, Alex Umland did a really good job for the Oaks to work out of traffic. We saw a total of 8 base runners left stranded in the first 5 innings for the Saints. Now with a bases loaded situation, It's another reality for the Saints here as a swing and a miss from Garber. It's an 0-1 count.
Yeah, until the Saints scored, the best chance that they had was in that first inning when they got the first 2 batters reach base via hits.
Another chance right here, the 0-1, as Garber fouls that into the dirt. Quickly up to an 0-2 count as Carson tries to work through heavy 405 traffic here.
Ha, good one.
So it's an 0-2 count. Carson working with 3 strikeouts on the day. Payoff is that's fouled straight into the dugout of the Oaks. It's going to ricochet off the wall and come back into foul territory just behind head coach for the Saints, Aaron Millam. Him and Coach David Solis will be the managers for the South Division on the California Collegiate League Showcase. The payoff pitch as it's a chopper that just goes foul just off of third base. And so Garber at the bottom of the order trying to put up a good fight here. And we should be getting those rosters for the South Division in the next few hours. Still waiting for the league's confirmation.
Hey, Garber putting up a nice at-bat here against Carson.
The payoff pitch from Carson as that's driven foul off to the left once again. Now, we've talked about it. I mean, even those foul balls can be a good sign for a batter as he just continues to work through Cody Carson, who's dealing with another 0-2 count as it's hits the outside corner for a strike. He freezes Johnny Garber, and that's a big-time strikeout. It's now 2 outs, 2 strikeouts.
Well, yet again, for the second day in a row, we see the Saints get 2 runners on with nobody out, and then, you know, even with the runner at third, Oaks pitchers have been able to retire 2 batters.
It's top of the order, Lane Hayworth, who looks at a ball. He's going to send a fly ball out into right field. Tommy Kenlinger moves over to his left and makes the play. How do you do, Cody Carson? The bases loaded situation leaves all 3 stranded. We head to the bottom of the 4th. Still no score. Back here at George Sparky Anderson Field as we're into the bottom of the 4th inning, and quite the inning from Cody Carson, who avoided a bases loaded situation, left all 3 stranded after a strikeout on Johnny Garber and a pop out or a fly out by Lane Hayworth into center field. And still a 0-0 ball game as it's Nolan Johnson at the plate first. It's a swing and a miss.
Yeah, Carson, he picked up 2 huge strikeouts in that inning. The first with 2 runners on base and nobody out, and second and third, mind you, and then to walk the next batter and strike out the next, and then a fly out. It was a tremendous job by Carson.
0-1 to Johnson. Looks at a ball outside. Well, they were able to get out of that inning also with A defensive error from Ethan Gonzalez that allowed Jackson Reed to get onto first base. The 1-1 pitch to Johnson. It's a high fly ball that's going to stay into shallow right field as Keon Musini gets over to make the play. One down.
Yeah, I mean, if you're the Saints, you got to be disappointed in yourself to not be able to take advantage of second and third, nobody out, or bases loaded, one out in an inning, especially following an error. Like, that's just something that's the biggest thing to capitalize on, perhaps.
So it's now Jake Schwartz at the plate, and the first pitch. It's the ball low and outside. Well, Jake Schwartz is 2 home runs on the season, got his second yesterday versus the Saints. Potentially looking for a third. The 1-0 pitch from Erdman as it's fouled into the dirt. Schwartz on this season with 17 hits. A second best, .447 batting average. Has 3 doubles on the season. The sophomore from Point Loma University. Had a game back versus the Philippines baseball group just last Sunday where he went 5 for 5 with his first home run of the season. The 1-1 pitch to Schwartz. Takes the ball low and outside. It's now a 2-1 count as Lucas Daniewicz due up next for the Oaks. So the Saints really trying to fight their way back to third place as they're 4 games behind the third place Riptide, as that's a ground ball to second base. Musini gets under at the throw as well in time to get the second out. A 4-3 putout now leads way to Lucas Daniewicz, who is 1 for 1 on the day. Had a single back in the second inning. Was left stranded after a strikeout and a ground out to third base by Thomas and Dawson. So already has the upper hand coming into this matchup for his second plate appearance versus Erdman. The first pitch to Daniewicz. Swing and a miss. It's an 0-1 count.
Yeah, Daniewicz, a guy who we haven't seen him go deep for the Oaks this season, but he's gone deep for Cal Lutheran a few times, twice in this past season.
The 0-1 pitch is in the dirt for a ball. Now count 1 ball, 1 strike. And it's the second time this season that Daniewicz and Erdman are facing off versus each other. Faced off in June 15th. And the Oaks win. The 1-1. Drives a ground ball foul off to the left. In that game, Daniewicz was 0 for 2. A pop out to right field and a ground out. So the payoff from Erdman. Swing and a miss as Daniewicz chases outside, and it gets now the second strikeout of the day for Erdman, and he retires the side. We head to the top of the 5th inning. Still no score. We return to action here at the top of the 5th inning, as it's Trotter Enright, who is 0 for 2 stepping to the plate for the Saints, as they will try to capitalize this time, as after leaving a bases loaded. First pitch from Carson gets away from an outside for a ball, 1-0. So in the final matchup before the break, these two teams going at it. The 1-0 hits the outside corner for a strike. Counts now 1 ball, 1 strike.
Well, Trotter Enright, his one hit in yesterday's game was a bunt single to the left side.
The 1-1 outside for another ball. It counts now 2-1. The Saints were founded back in 2004. Started off actually as an 18 and under club. The 2-1 pitch. High for a ball. Counts now 3-1. They made back-to-back appearances in the Palomino World Series from 2012 to 2014. Entered the college ranks in 2016. As the 3-1 pitch hits an outside corner for a strike. It's now to a full count. And then they eventually joined the California Collegiate League in 2017. The 3-2 pitch from Carson, as that's hit well into left field. It's going to drop for a base hit. It's a leadoff single for Trotter Enright. It's now just the 2nd hit of the day for the Saints. It's now back-to-back innings with a leadoff single. Leads way to Jax Ryan.
Yeah, nice piece of hitting there by Enright to push that ball the other way on a line, right in the gap between third and short. First batter of the inning gets on base.
So it's now 1 on for the Saints. Jax Ryan swinging a miss on the first pitch. And the name, actually, the Arroyo Seco Saints, is inspired by where they play. Jackie Robinson Field, in the heart of the San Gabriel Valley's Arroyo Seco, which means dry stream, gave them inspiration for their name. The 0-1. Slow and inside for a ball. Counts now 1-1. The park that they play at, which is Brookside Park, which houses Jackie Robinson Memorial Field, is infamously known for being the MLB spring training grounds for both the Chicago Cubs and the White Sox in the early and mid-1900s. As Ryan shows bunt and hits a high one straight back, as it's now a 1-2 count. It was in 1933 the Chicago White Sox took up residency after the Chicago Cubs were there for quite a few years. As it's a check at first base, and Enright gets back safely. Last 2 seasons for the Saints have ended in heartbreak, both times in the playoffs, losing the championship game in 2023 and the first round 2024. As that's low and outside for a ball. Counts now even at 2. So the Saints just founded 2 years before the Caneo Oaks were founded. In 2006, the Oaks began to play baseball. As that's a hit fly ball out to right field. Daniewicz goes back towards the warning track, makes the play. As it gets the out. It's now 1 out, 1 on for the Saints here in the 5th inning. Both teams trying to end the, what I'd call the pretty much 2/3 through this season, halfway, or 2/3 through the season break, as each team will get the next 3 days off, and then they'll be right back in action against each other back at Jackie Robinson Memorial Field on Thursday. First pitch is low and outside for a ball, as it's now Jacob Freer, who is 0 for 1 on the day, grounded out to shortstop, as well as a walk. And that was honestly how the Saints really got any of their first few base runners on. Actually, their first 4 base runners all walked. They've slowly been able to generate hits in these past 2 innings. The 1-0 Freer hits a ball straight back for a foul. It's now up to a 1-1 count.
And Freer was the first Saint to reach base in this game.
So it's a 1-1 count to Freer. 1 out, 1 on for the Saints. Freer with a chop swing, and off goes Enright. He's going to slide home safely. Slide to second base safely. Gets now his 4th stolen base of the season. And Jacob Freer kind of just a sword swing. And the ball was pretty well inside. I mean, I would imagine it would have been called a ball, but I guess a strike for a stolen base. The Saints won't entirely not take that. So it's a 1-2 count now to Freer. 1 out, 1 on. Drives that straight into Nolan Johnson, who uses his body to shield it. Steps onto the first base for the 2nd out, and Trotter Enright moves to 3rd.
Yeah, and also on that stolen base, a tough throwing chance for Anthony Thomas, as he was already on the inside, on the other side of the batter, and his throw took Ethan Gonzalez off the bag as it was high and made Gonzalez jump to his left.
So it's another inning here for the Saints. I should say back-to-back innings where a runner is at 3rd base. And now with 2 outs, it's Joey Milto. First pitch he takes outside. Well, Milto is 1 for 2 on the day with a single and a pop out to center field. Also has a stolen base on the day, and now he's working with a runner on 3rd, which is Trotter Enright, as he grounds that to second base. Dawson able to get under it. His throw to first is in time. It's a 4-3 put out, and it's another inning that Cody Carson leaves runners in score stranded. We head to the bottom of the 5th inning. Still no score. We're halfway through this game here at George Sparky Anderson Field, as Anthony Thomas to the plate first for the Oaks, and the Oaks will look to try to get the first few runs of this game, as it's been a quick 4.5 innings, as still no score. And Zach Erdman now up for his 5th inning of action, as he off-speed strike that Anthony Thomas looks at. Another inning, 2 for Cody Carson, where he leaves base runners stranded. Just this time a runner at 3rd base, which was Trotter Enright. Now the 0-1 pitch to Thomas. Swung on. It's a high fly ball into right field. Back goes Milto to the wall. It's going to hit against the wall as Thomas turns it for 2. And it's a stand-up double to get things started in the 5th inning for the Oaks. And now a opportunity for Jonah Dawson, who comes to the plate.
Boy, that was a much needed hit for Anthony Thomas. He hit that one very well. I thought maybe it had a chance to get out of here. as he gapped that right into right center field, his 5th hit of the season, and that currently snaps his 4-game hitting slump.
Now 1 for 2 on the day for Thomas, and Dawson is 0 for 1, grounded out to third base. So he shows bunt. He is going to lay it down to the left side. Off goes Dawson to first base. The throw is in time from Jacob Freer as he's quick to the play, but it does advance Anthony Thomas to third base, and another example of team baseball for the Conejo Oaks.
Yeah, that was great execution by Jonah Dawson as he laid a good enough bunt down there for Freer to have to run in to get it, and Thomas had third relatively easily, and good defensive work too by the Saints with Keon Mosini covering the bag there.
It's now Tommy Kenlinger who, with a prime opportunity here, it's Anthony Thomas at third base. The infield is all the way in. The first pitch from Erdman. That swung on. It's going to drop into center field for a base hit. Home comes Thomas. And welcome back, Tommy Kenlinger. An RBI single to get the first run of the game.
Kenlinger wasting no time at all right there, and he's 2 for 2 on the day. And he saw the pitch he liked right away, smacked it to center, and the sacrifice pays off. Team baseball doing the little things that go a long way.
You can thank Jonah Dawson for that, but Tommy Kenlinger able to bring in the run as it's now top of the order, Ethan Gonzalez. Now the Oaks leading 1-0. First pitch. Gonzalez takes upstairs. And it was the game yesterday that the Oaks really jumped out in front early and then had to wait till the 8th inning to get another run. They scored 3 runs in that first inning, which for 5 innings was the only sort of runs we saw. Gonzalez hits a fly ball out into right field. Milto moves all the way to his right to make the catch on the run, and Tommy Kenlinger will retreat back to first base, but a well-hit ball by Gonzalez, just not far enough.
Yeah, he gave that ball a good ride, and you know, the Oaks getting one good hit after another, and Milto a nice defensive play, moving out to the gap and leaping to make the catch.
So now Tyler Hawley to the plate, who is 1 for 2 today. Well, with the home run derby on July 16th, Tyler Hawley has certainly tried to put his name in that conversation as he has back-to-back home runs, and now another opportunity to bring home a runner. It's 2 outs, 1 on. The first pitch to Tyler Hawley. Fouls that straight back. Counts now 0-1. So we finally have our first run of the game. It only took 5 innings.
Yeah, the Saints, they definitely had an opportunity to score. That was back in the 4th inning.
So an 0-1 pitch to Hawley. Looks at the ball into the dirt. Counts now 1-1 with Devin Wilkes due up next. So certainly lots of power coming up to the plate, but it is 2 outs for the Saints. Tommy Kenlinger at first, already picked off once today. The 1-1, off he goes to second base as Hawley fouls that back. So Kenlinger with a good leadoff, but is going to have to go back to first base. That RBI would be the 6th RBI of the season for Tommy Kenlinger. It's now a 1-2 pitch to Tyler Hawley. The payoff. Swing and a miss as Erdman puts him to his knees and gets now his 3rd strikeout of the day, and we head to the top of the 6th inning, but the Oaks have responded first and threw the first punch. They lead 1-0. here in the 6th inning of what is now a 1-0 ball game for, or in favor of, the Conejo Oaks, as Jackson Reed steps to the plate for the 3rd time today. Reached on an error last time at the plate, and also a stolen base. As Regan Gale now on the mound. It's a high fly ball foul off to the right. Gale now making his 8th appearance of the season. Just appeared this Friday versus the Santa Barbara Foresters in the Oaks 7-6 loss. Allowed 3 runs, 3 of those being earned. Those would be his first runs allowed of the season. 1 hit, 3 walks, and 0 strikeouts. Didn't even finish the inning, as that's a ground ball to second base. Dawson collects it on the short hop and gets his throw in time to first base. 1 down.
Yeah, Gale, you know, he'd like to see more action after today. Yeah, ended up going plus of an inning. Yeah, he, as you mentioned, 3 runs, 3 walks. Those were probably the most detrimental factors of those innings, honestly.
Yeah, he came in as the first guy out the bullpen for Caden Beloy, and now he does the same for Cody Carson. 1 out as Trotter Enright drives one into right field, but it's just going to go foul as it ends up in the bullpen area for the Arroyo Seco Saints, in a first pitch that had all the type of juice that Levi Mandela wanted.
Yeah, he smacked that ball hard, and if that's fair, that could be 3.
Now the 0-1 pitch to Mandela. That's a short chopper to second base. Dawson charges towards it, flips it underhand for the 2nd out. So back-to-back 4-3 putouts. Now has it 2 outs for the Oaks, and Keon Musini now quickly to the plate with 2 outs. So Regan Gale already off to a better start here, but he's going to have to finish out this inning, as Musini is 0 for 1 today. That ball is upstairs. Musini walked his last plate appearance. He was left stranded as part of that bases loaded situation back in the 4th inning for the Saints. It's a 1-0 count to Musini. The pitch. That's fouled straight back. It's now a 1-1 count. So this is a critical moment right here for the Oaks. We've seen plenty of times the starting pitching pitch extremely well, but the bullpen has struggled to help. But the 1-1 is inside and low for ball 2. Now 2-1 count. So Regan Gale trying to continue what Cody Carson did. Just allowed 2 hits. Now the 2-1 pitch. It's outside for ball 3 as Musini remains patient at the plate.
Yeah, Saints definitely showing some good pitch discipline at the plate, but hasn't yet translated to a run.
3-1. Hits the outside corner for a strike as Musini got a little ahead of himself and thought it was ball 4, so he'll step back into the batter's box with a full count. 2 down, nobody on base. The payoff pitch from Gale. And that's low and outside for ball 4, so Musini's instincts were right, and he'll take a walk to first base. It's now his 2nd walk of the day, and it's a 2-out walk. Leads way to bottom of the order, Johnny Garber. Was 0 for 1 today with a strikeout and a walk.
Yeah, Garber's walk in the 3rd inning led that inning off, and it was an opportunity potentially for the Saints to capitalize.
Garber looks at a ball inside and low. It's a 1-0 count. So it's now 2 outs. 1 on the runner at first base for the Saints. The 1-0 pitch to Garber. Takes the ball as it gets under the legs of Anthony Thomas. He recovers quickly, and Musini's going to hold at first.
Yeah, I would say that was pretty wise. I mean, the ball, it kept rolling away from Thomas, but he was close enough to it the whole time where Mussini thought at any point he could pick it up, and that could potentially put him at risk of getting caught on the bases.
So a 2-0 count to Garber. Gale deals. And a good framing job right there by Anthony Thomas to pull one in for a strike. As Thomas really had to do his best Oscar performance right there. It's now a 2-1. Garber hits a high fly ball. That's going to stay into shallow right field as Dawson protects the sun from his eyes and is able to make the play to get the third out. So just one walk allowed by Regan Gale. Is able to get out of this inning, and we head to the bottom of the sixth. The Oaks nearly with the lead, 1-0. Back at George Sparky Anderson Field is a quick word from our sponsor, Pizza Man Dan's. 6 different locations all across Ventura County. Hompai is one call away as Zach Erdman now entering his 6th inning, which would be a season high. As Wilkes had checked his swing, and they said he checked his swing. Yeah, so it's a 1-0 count.
Oh, yeah, Aaron Millam immediately coming out to talk. Yeah, you can tell he's not happy with that call. I'll be honest, I thought he went.
Yeah, it looked like it. Well, this wouldn't be, I mean, Grant, I don't know how detailed this conversation will be, but Aaron Millen has already been thrown out at this field one time.
And also, I know the home plate umpire had checked for, he checked at first, which was kind of weird because the third base umpire has the better angle.
Well, the third base umpire was having quite the chat with David Solis at third base. So, still having quite the discussion as Devin Wilkes is at the plate right now. He is 0 for 2 on the day, has popped out to left and center field. It'd be the trifecta if he popped out to right field. And so after a few words shared between the Oaks skipper, the Saints skipper, and the Home plate umpire, nothing is made of it, so it's still a 1-0 count to Wilkes as Erdman beginning his 6th inning of action. The 1-0 pitch. As Wilkes looks at a ball low. It's now up to a 2-0 count. Wilkes this season batting .351, has 2 home runs on the season, now second on the team in that category. The 2-0 pitch. Swung on, it's a high fly ball out into center field, and Hayworth gets back to make the play as it's 1 out for the Saints.
Yeah, nothing really became of the check swing call after all, as Erdman in his 6th inning of work, that is his season high, 6 innings in a game.
So now Nolan Johnson at the plate. The first pitch. Swing and a miss as Johnson chases downstairs. It's now an 0-1 count. Yeah, Erdman has gone 5 innings 3 times. All of those actually have come in the last 3 games that he's played in. Versus the Crawdads, the Barons, and the Forsters. The 0-1. Johnson takes a strike just in the upper part of the zone. In 2 of those 5 inning appearances, he's recorded 2 wins. The 0-2. Johnson looks at a ball low and outside, counts 1 ball, 2 strikes. So the Oaks will look to add some insurance here as it's just a 1-0 lead. The 1-2 pitch as Johnson grounds 1 to third. Freer waits for it. His throw is in time. A 5-3 put out to get the second out.
Yeah, Zach Erdman, he may have allowed a run last inning, but he has been pitching very strongly and pretty consistently overall, and just 1 run separates these 2 teams right now. And, you know, of course, credit to him for working hard out there when the Saints have had chances to score for themselves. They've had certainly a big chance or 2, certainly in that 4th inning they had their biggest chance.
As Schwartz looks at a strike, the lower part of the zone, counts 0-1 with 2 outs. Well, it was a RBI single from Tommy Kenlinger and drove home Anthony Thomas. As Erdman steps off and collects himself and comes back to the mound. The 0-1 pitch to Schwartz. It's a fly ball out to the left. That's going to go into foul territory as Freer runs out to the right to make a play, but the ball goes out of the field of play. So it's now an 0-2 count to Schwartz. With Lucas Daniewicz due up next. The 0-2 pitch. Schwartz fouls that straight back. Remains in 0-2 count.
Schwartz, one of 3 Oaks with 2 home runs.
The 0-2 pitch to Schwartz. Hits a hard one out into right field as it's going to drop just foul. Just a few inches to the right of the right field line. As he returns to pick up his bat and return to the batter's box as it remains an 0-2 count. So Schwartz not letting up easy in his 3rd plate appearance. He is 0 for 2 today. With 2 ground outs to second base. The 0-2 pitch. Chomps that foul off to the right.
Yeah, Schwartz, he's certainly become a tough out at the plate and showing off his power this season and his versatility on the field too at first base and in the outfield.
So another payoff pitch from Erdman. Schwartz is frozen at the plate. Strike 3 for Erdman. Now his 4th strikeout of the day, and he retires the side in the 6th inning. We head to the 7th. Just 1/3 of baseball to play. Bring you back here for the game here at George Sparky Anderson Field, as it's just a 1-0 ball game between the 2nd-seeded Conejo Oaks and the 4th-seeded Saints. As Chris Lozano now on the mound, replacing Regan Gale, as an off-speed slider hits the inside for a strike. Well, Gale's day is over just after 1 inning pitched, allowed just 1 walk. Retired 3 batters, the 1-0. It's a high chopper to second base as Dawson collects, fires on the run. His throw is in time, just narrowly beats the quick Lane Hayworth.
Yeah, really nice play there by Jonah Dawson, and Hayworth, he can run, and Dawson had to fire that away quickly, and he's able to get his man at first.
So Chris Lozano now making his 6th appearance of the season for the Oaks. He is 1-0 on the season, a 1.58 ERA. He's pitched in 5 1/3 innings. Has 3 strikeouts, allowed 7 hits, and no walks yet, as Charter Enright hits a fly ball hard out to left field, and it's going to foul out.
Yeah, Chris Lozano, his win came in his first pitching appearance this season on June 18th against the MLB Academy Barons. It's a 19-6 win for the Oaks at home.
And that's the game that he actually only gave up his 2 earned runs, as that's ground ball to second base. Dawson collects, and yet another 4-3 put out, as it's Charter Enright who will head back to the dugout and leads way to Jax Ryan. So quickly already 2 outs, which very similar to what we saw back in the 6th inning, where Jackson Reed and Levi Mandela grounded out to second base in less than 5 pitches. So Chris Lozano looking to make quick work of the side here for the Saints in the top of the 7th inning. That win versus the Barons, he gave up 1 earned run, 2 runs in total. since in the 4 other games has yet to allow a run. The first pitch to Jax Ryan is outside for a ball. Lozano, a undecided senior, looking for a new home in 2025 and 2026. So hits the outside corner for a strike, a fastball. Counts now 1-1.
Yeah, every single game Lozano has pitched in has been a win for the Oaks so far, and he's been the pitcher of record once.
The 1-1 pitch to Ryan. So the ball low and outside. It's now a 2-1 count. Well, he's running it back for 2025. Spent 2024 with the Conejo Oaks. Played in 9 games, had a 4.15 ERA in the 13 innings that he pitched. And 13 strikeouts, 12 hits, and 7 runs. The 2-1 pitch to Ryan. It's low for another ball. 3-1 is the count. In 2025, Lozano spent time at UC Riverside. Made 9 appearances. Pitched 12 total innings. His longest outing was 3 innings against UC Santa Barbara on April 12th. The 3-1 is upstairs for ball 4 as it's a 2-out walk for Jax Ryan. And so Jacob Freer comes to the plate now. 0 for 2 today with a walk. Grounded out the first base last time. 2024, Lozano did not make any appearances. From Grover Cleveland High School, where he was all-city, as well as a varsity starter all 4 years. 2 outs, 1 on. It's now Jacob Freer's turn. The first pitch. Inside for a ball as Freer has to move his hands out of the way not to get hit by that pitch. So the only score has come off an RBI single by Tommy Kenlinger back in the 5th inning. Drove home catcher Anthony Thomas. Now a 1-0 pitch to Jacob Freer as he takes the off-speed strike inside. It's now an even 1-1 with Joey Milto due up next.
Yeah, Milto, him and Freer, they're 2 guys that I think the Saints would love to see be more consistent at the plate and just give the Saints more production.
The 1-1 pitch, swing and a miss for Jacob Freer. It's now 1-2. And a real opportunity for Chris Lozano after allowing a walk to get out of this inning. As the Saints have been held scoreless thus far. The payoff pitch from Lozano. Off goes Ryan to second base. That's driven into right field. It's going to drop for a base hit. Ryan turns it for 3. It's a 2-out single for Jacob Freer. And now some life from the Saints faithful as it's now runners at the corners. And leads way to Joey Milto. Yeah, you just talked about it, Sammy. Someone that could be a little bit more consistent. He's 1 for 3 today. As now Coach David Solis will come to the mound as well as the rest of the infield to have a meeting with Chris Lozano. So runners at the corners here for the Saints. It's yet another opportunity where the runners in scoring position. They've had runners in scoring position 4 times already from the 2nd to the 5th inning. Every time they've had runners that rather at second or third base, an opportunity to score, and every time have come up with nothing. So the question will be, are the Saints going to become a shell of themselves, or are they going to be reborn here? Find their own. The first pitch to Milto, swing and a miss. It's a fastball inside that Chris Lozano gets Milto to chase.
Yeah, and the Saints only chasing 1 run. All it takes to tie the game here is a hit to the outfield, or a hit anywhere, really.
So an 0-1 pitch to Milto. Runners at the corners. 2 outs for the Saints. The 0-1. Milto takes outside. Counts now 1-1. Well, it's the final 3 innings here before a 3-day showcase break in the California Collegiate League. The 1-1 pitch to Milto. Swing and a miss. A breaking ball there from Chris Lozano.
Yeah, Lozano, the bottom just dropped out of that one. We've seen him, you know, throw hitters off with a ball that just curves away from them, especially on the lefties. Lefty on lefty is always tough.
1-2 pitch. Upstairs for ball number 2. It's now even at 2 apiece. It's 2 outs. Runners at the corner for the Saints. A 2-2 count. The payoff from Lozano. Swing and a miss. Got him with the slider. And that's the first strikeout for Chris Lozano, and a big one as he leaves 2 base runners of the Saints stranded. It's time to get up and stretch as the Oaks lead in 1-0. It's Lucas Daniewicz to get things started in the bottom of the 7th inning as the Oaks with a narrow 1-0 lead, and now Garrett McGugan comes in as the first pitcher from the bullpen for the Saints as Zach Erdman's day is over after 6 innings of work, just allowing 1 run. As the first pitch to Daniewicz just hits the top and out part of the strike zone, counts 0-1. McGugan, a senior at Gold West College, now making his 9th appearance, has an 0-1 record, a 4.50 ERA, has pitched a total of 6 innings. As it's an 0-1 count to Daniewicz, he hits a chopper that reaches over the head of Jacob Freer as Enright tries to get the throw in time, but it doesn't. As it's fast base running by Lucas Daniewicz, and it's a leadoff single.
Yeah, fast base running along with just great placement on that chopper. Chopped it right over the head of Jacob Freer. Enright had a long run to cut it off, and to make a long throw, you know, hard to make a perfectly accurate throw and beat Daniewicz. And Daniewicz, he is able to leg out an infield single.
So now Anthony Thomas at the plate with one on. Thomas 1 for 2 today. Just the one run accounted to Thomas. First pitch. It's inside and low as Thomas has to duck his feet away not to get hit. Well, McGugan has already faced off versus the Oaks once. It was back on June 17th, and the Saints only win in the shutout win, 8-0. He went 1 inning, faced a total of 4 batters, had 1 strikeout and 1 hit. It's a 1-0 pitch to Thomas. It's another ball high and inside. Counts now 2-0. McGugan made 7 appearances at Golden West College this past season. Started one of those games with a 1-0 record. 10 strikeouts and 3 hits. The 2-0 pitch. This time low and inside for ball 3 as Thomas remains patient.
Yeah, Thomas hit a big double his last time up and ended up scoring 2 batters later following a sac bunt and an RBI single.
The 3-0 pitch. Thomas takes a strike. McGugan spent 2024 at University of California, Berkeley. Utilized his red shirt, did not make any appearances. A 3-1 to Thomas. Swung on, it's a high fly ball out into right field. Back goes to the wall is Milto, and he can't make the play as it hits against the wall once again. Thomas turns it for 2. Home comes Daniewicz. He's running, there's gonna be no throw, and it's an RBI double from Anthony Thomas. Now makes it a 2-0 ball game. And now his second double of the day.
Back-to-back doubles for Anthony Thomas. Also almost an identical location and placement as his last double, right in the right center field gap. Joey Milto gave it a good run, but it was just over his glove, hit up against the wall, and Daniewicz, with his speed, got that scored easily after the ball was bobbled upon the relay. So another good run for the Oaks. And now look at this, a deja vu here.
Dawson's up to the plate, takes a ball upstairs. Certainly deja vu, as it was Thomas who was brought home on the RBI single by Tommy Kendlinger, but Dawson and a bunt moved Thomas to third base. As Dawson today is 0 for 2, but now a 1-0 count as he now shows bunt once again. He's going to pull back and takes the ball upstairs. It's now a 2-0 count with Tommy Kendlinger due up next. So the Oaks looking to finish out week 6 on a high note here in the California Collegiate League, as they are 3-1 on the week. Just the sole loss coming in a dramatic finish on Friday versus the Foresters. 2-0 pitch to Dawson. Takes a strike on the out part of the zone.
Yeah, and if you're Dawson and you want to be in that bunt mindset, can't really make it too obvious, because as he bunted last time, the infield sort of anticipating that a little bit more now.
Doesn't show bunt right now. It's a 2-1 count. Now he shows bunt. He's able to lay it down to the right side this time. Dawson will run over, but the throw is well in time from McGugan to first base, but once again does his job, moves Anthony Thomas to third base.
Yeah, another sac bunt there by Jonah Dawson. Thomas again at third with 1 out. A sense of deja vu with Tommy Kendlinger at the plate as the infield has moved up for the Saints.
So Tommy Kendlinger, who is 2 for 2 on the day with an RBI. Both his hits are singles. It's now 1 out. Infield is all the way in. Thomas at third base. First pitch from McGugan. This time outside. Counts 1-0. So it's really been the bottom of the order here for the Oaks that has come through when they have been called upon. Anthony Thomas with an RBI and Tommy Kendlinger with an RBI, and Daniewicz and Thomas with a run each. The 1-0 pitch. Kendlinger takes high and inside. 2 balls, 0 strikes.
2-run lead is something we have not seen until this inning.
2-0. Kenlinger hits one to right field as Milto's not able to get down as it's going to go towards the wall. He has to retrieve it. Home comes Thomas. Kenlinger turns it for 3. As the throw from is not in time. It's an RBI triple for Tommy Kenlinger. Gets his now second RBI of the day, and the Oaks lead 3-0.
Yeah, Kenlinger, great hit and base running as he slices that one to right field. And Milto, I think he was trying to catch that ball and he realized he wasn't going to, but I think the mistake he made there was he made the decision too late to let it bounce, and he wasn't able to handle that short hop, and it got past him into the wall. That allowed Kenlinger to go all the way to third.
It's now Ethan Gonzalez who looks at a ball upstairs and out. So now a 3-0 lead. All 3 runs have come in the last 3 innings. It's a 1-0 count to Gonzalez. 1 out, 1 on. It's a foul ball off to the right. So 1-1 to Gonzalez. It's 1 out, 1 on. Tommy Kenlinger at third base. The 1-1 pitch. Gonzalez just takes on the corner outside. Counts now 1-2.
Nice framing job there by Garber. Now a 3-run lead for the Oaks.
The 1-2 pitch to Gonzalez. Fouls that one straight back. Count remains at 1 ball, 2 strikes. It's the first runs that McGugan has allowed in his last 3 outings. The 1-2 pitch. Gonzalez drives one foul off to the left. So the Oaks don't just want to go into the next inning with a 1-0 lead. They have come around here in the 7th, added 2 more. It's a 3-0 lead and a 1-2 pitch to Ethan Gonzalez. Takes a ball in the dirt. Tommy Kenlinger will head home as the ball gets away from Johnny Garber. So Kenlinger is brought home off a pass ball. It's now a 3-run 7th inning, and the Oaks lead 4-0.
Yeah, that one just hit Garber square, went right beside him, kept trickling away, and Kenlinger, his speed and that ball deflection, an easy extra run for the Oaks. 4-0, big difference.
Now 2-2 count to Gonzalez, who looks at a strike outside. It's the first strikeout for McGugan, and one to hopefully boost his confidence as he has allowed 3 runs here, and it's just 1 out for the Saints.
Yeah, McGugan definitely needed that out, and that was overdue following the pass ball that allowed Kenlinger to score. A costly run for the Saints, as you definitely saw costly runs yesterday, and, you know, like yesterday, had opportunities to score and just weren't able to capitalize.
So 2 outs now as Tyler Hawley steps to the plate. First pitch, he looks one outside and low. It's a 1-0 count. As Hawley is 1 for 3 today with a strikeout and a single. The 1-0 pitch. Looks at the ball upstairs. Now 2 balls and no strikes. So Devin Wilkes due up next. So the Oaks have come in now. Good control of this one in the 7th inning. The 2-0 pitch to Hawley. It's a high fly ball that's going to spend time in the air as Keon Musini waits just in the infield to get the 3rd out. But the Oaks get 3 runs themselves to make it a 4-0 ball game as we head to the 8th inning, as the Saints will try to respond with only 6 outs left today. Down to 2 final innings for the Saints. They want to mount any sort of comeback as they now trail 4-0 after a 3-run 7th inning. Started with the single from Lucas Daniewicz, then the double by Anthony Thomas to bring home Daniewicz. And then it was almost deja vu. Tommy Kenlinger with a triple that brought home Anthony Thomas, and he was brought home off a pass ball by Johnny Garver to make it 4-0. As Chris Lozano now begins his 2nd inning of action, and it's Jackson Reed, who is 0 for 3 on the day at the plate. 1-0. Chops that foul off to the right. It's going to hit off the Saints dugout.
Yeah, those were both some big innings for the Oaks. The 5th and 7th innings, as you mentioned, almost identical fashion, and even more damage produced by the Oaks late in the game.
The 0-2 as Jackson Reed checked his swing, and it was outside for a ball.
Reed hitless on the day so far.
Counts 1-2. Well, the Oaks will look to try to make here with a 4-0 lead, make it 4 straight versus the Saints. Currently hold a 4-1 record in the season. Match up the 1-2 pitch to Jackson Reed. Swing and a miss. It's another strikeout for Chris Lozano. It's now back-to-back to begin the 8th inning.
Yeah, that was some great bottom drop action on the off-speed pitch from Lozano. Gets Reed to chase.
It's now Levi Medella, who is 0 for 2 on the day with a walk. First pitch is grounded to second base. Dawson collects on the hop and throws in time to first. As Dawson could almost do that play at this point blindfolded with the amount of times he's gotten that ball.
Yeah, you can almost hear by the way the ball's hit and hearing it hop on the ground, but Key is at second base, as I know, is being very steady and anticipating the way the ball is going to hop. You know, if it's going to take an extra one, it's often better to charge.
It's now Keon Musini back to the plate with 2 outs. Very similar position he was back in the 6th inning. Takes a ball, 1-0. Musini is 0 for 1 today with a pair of walks. She's got it in the last 2 plate appearances. The 1-0. Musini hits a high fly ball out into shallow left field. Gonzalez waits for it and collects. So Lozano retires the side. So we head to the bottom of the 8th inning. The Oaks with a chance to add more to what is already a 4-0 lead. We'll be right back. Back here at George Sparky Anderson Field as we get the bottom of the 8th inning underway. It's the 3-4-5 in the batting order for the Oaks with Devin Wilkes up first and another pitching change. Now Nolan McCracken making his 10th appearance on the mound with a 1-0 record for the Saints and a 1.92 ERA. Wilkes today 0 for 3. Swing and a miss as he chases downstairs at the first pitch. Counts 0-1.
Nolan McCracken, his one win came most recently on July 8th versus the San Diego Bombers, a 7-4 victory. He struck out 10 batters.
Yeah, season high is up to 25 on the season as Wilkes hits a fly ball foul off to the left. That would be also a team high 25 strikeouts. He's appeared in 3 games versus the Oaks, most recently on June 25th. In the 10-7 loss for the Saints. Pitched 1 inning, allowed 1 run, 1 being earned, and then 2 hits, 2 strikeouts in the 4 batters he faced. It's up to an 0-2 count to Wilkes. He grounds 1 to second base. Musini waits, collects, throws in time.
Yes, he's certainly someone that the Oaks have seen a lot, and you know, to the Oaks alone, he's allowed just 1 run to the Oaks. That was in the his most recent appearance against the Oaks on June 25th.
Now Nolan Johnson to the plate, who's 0 for 3. Looking to potentially extend this hitting streak that he's on, a 3-game hitting streak, before we enter the California Collegiate League break. The first pitch. Johnson takes a ball low and outside. It's a 1-0 count. Well, if the Oaks are able to handle business at the top of the 9th inning, this will be the last time we see the Oaks offense for 3 days, as they will be back in action next Thursday. As Johnson looks at a ball outside, it'll wrap the final meeting between the Saints and the Oaks at Jackie Robinson Memorial Field for another 6:05 start. The Oaks will be back home on Friday on July 18th, a 4 p.m. game versus the Philippines baseball group. The 2-0 pitch to Johnson. Looks at a strike on the top part of the zone. Counts now 2-1.
Henry Borjas is in the on-deck circle as he took over defensively for Jake Schwartz in left field.
So his time is called. Johnson steps back into the box and is ready to go, so it's a 2-1 count here. McCracken deals. Johnson fouls that straight back right off the helmet of Johnny Garber. So that California Collegiate League Showcase will be on July 16th at MLB Youth Academy, highlighting all the great players throughout the North and South Division in this Premier League summer baseball in California. It's a 2-2 count to Nolan Johnson. Swing and a miss as he chases outside. It's the now 26th strikeout of the season for Nolan McCracken, his first of the day here. So Henry Borjas steps to the plate as he, like you mentioned, is replacing Jake Schwartz. He's working now with 2 outs. And so nothing has been released yet, but by the end of today, we should know the roster for the South Division. The North Division's already been released. Borjas takes a strike just inside.
Henry Borjas batting .222 on the season.
The 0-1 pitch to Borjas. Takes a strike outside. A good framing job by Garber to pull it into the zone.
He's got 4 hits. He's a guy who, you know, he's had some good production at the plate. He's seen him used as a pinch runner as well, where he can shine tremendously.
The 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He chases outside. It's back-to-back strikeouts by Nolan McCracken. He retires the side, and we head to the 9th inning as the Saints down to just one last chance to come back. It's the 9-1-2 batting order for the Saints that will take the plate and give them one last chance to pull a comeback win here as Chris Lozano begins now his 3rd inning of action. Retired the side back in the 8th inning as Johnny Garber to get things started. The catcher who is all business with his no gloves, no tape, no nothing, just bare hands and a bat.
That's some pretty good arm and hand strength right there.
So the 1-0 pitch as Garber tanks outside. Now count is 2-0, and so Lozano will look to lead the Oaks right here to their 19th win of the season, as well as their 4th consecutive win over the Saints this season. 2-0 pitch. That's fouled straight to the backstop. Hits off the railing just above the actual backstop. It's now a 2-1 count. So the pitching has been very solid thus far for the Oaks. Combination of Cody Carson, Regan Gale, and now Chris Lozano. The 2-1 pitch to Garber. Fouls that straight back once again.
And Lozano in his 3rd inning of work on the mound. Cody Carson, outstanding 5 shutout innings. Yeah, the bullpen has been lights out today.
Lozano now going a season-high 3 innings. Went 2 innings versus the Bombers back on July 2nd. The 2-2 pitch. He freezes Garber on the outside corner. It's the 3rd strikeout of the day for Lozano. It's now down to just 2 outs for the Saints. So back to the top of the order as it's Lane Hayworth and Trotter Enright due up next. As Hayworth takes a strike.
He's hitless on the day so far with 2 strikeouts.
The 0-1. It's a high-flying ball out into right field as Daniewicz moves over into right center field and is able to make the catch on the run and get the 2nd out. It's now down to just 1 out for the Saints. So Trotter Enright, the last hope for the Saints as the Oaks look to make it back-to-back wins as they defeated the Saints yesterday 7-5, and they lead right now 4-0. First pitch. Enright takes low and outside. So 1-0 count. Well, Jack Ryan due up next if needed. The 1-0 pitch. Just outside for ball 2.
The Trotter Enright, he has 1 hit on the day.
Came back in the 5th inning off a single. 2-0. Enright hits a fly ball out into center field. Tommy Kendlinger moves back towards the wall and is not able to make the play at the wall as he falls. And Enright with a stand-up double with 2 outs. And so a little bit of hope here for the Saints as it's now 1 on and a runner in scoring position. And Kendlinger did his best job to get back to the wall and just not able to make the grab at the last second.
Yeah, he came up just a little short there. Trotter Enright drove that ball to deep center field, and you knew it was going to be a tough play for Kendlinger as he just comes up a wee bit short, and he bangs against the wall. And Enright, but good job by Kendlinger to get that ball in quickly to keep Enright at second.
So now Jax Ryan at the plate with 2 outs, 1 on. The first pitch as he takes a ball low and outside. Jax Ryan today is 0 for 2 with a pair of walks. Enright already has a stolen base today. He's up to 4 on the season. The 1-0. Swinging and a miss. Chris Lozano muscles a fastball into the inside part of the zone. Counts now 1-1.
If need be for the Oaks, Braden Lowe is warming up in the bullpen.
The 1-1 pitch to Ryan. Hits the inside for a ball. Counts now 2-1. The Oaks trying to finish week 6 with a 4-run record on the week. 2-1 pitch to Ryan. Upstairs for ball 3. It's now a 3-1 count to Jax Ryan. It's 2 outs, 1 on for the Saints. 3-1 pitch. Hits the inside as it's now up to a full count. So Lozano's going to try to get out of this one right here. The payoff pitch is low and inside for ball 4. So a double and a walk now has 2 base runners on for the Saints. And now Jacob Freer, who is 1 for 3 on the day, with a walk singled back in the 7th inning. As Lozano will stay on the mound. So the Saints not going away easy. It was a strikeout and a pop out to right field, and then the Saints started to wake up a little. The first pitch hits the outside corner for a strike.
Yeah, they're chipping away here in this 9th inning. Of course, you know, if you're the Saints, you're thinking better late than never to create an opportunity to score here. Freer, I beg your pardon, a guy who was due.
The 0-1. That's swung on. It's going to drop into right field as Trotter Enright heads home. The throw is not going to get there. So it's an RBI single from Jacob Freer. And 1 run at a time. It's now 4-1 Oaks.
The Saints able to avoid being shut out by the Conejo Oaks.
Only been shut out once this season by the Slow Blues. Back on June 19th. It was actually the Saints that shut out the Oaks here at George Sparky Anderson the day before. It's been the only time the Oaks have been shut out of a game. So it's now runners at the corners for the Saints. And Joey Milto at the plate, swinging the bat to tie this game. Off goes Freer to second base. There's going to be no throw made by Thomas. And Lowe has now gone to the bench. Still in the bullpen, but now 2 runners on as it's a stolen base for Jax Ryan, his 9th of the season, but it's a 1-0 pitch here to Milto. Takes a ball upstairs. Yeah, so a swing of the bat could turn things upside down for the Oaks. This has all been done on 2 outs by the Saints. It's a foul ball straight back. Counts now 2-1. So it's actually, sorry, it's a stolen base from Jacob Freer. Yeah. And Jax Ryan now at third base. So 2 outs, 2 on, a 2-1 pitch to Joey Milto, who's 1 for 4 today. 2-1. Swing and a miss. Milto chases upstairs. As Lozano trying to not allow anything more and stop the bleeding here. The payoff pitch from Lozano. That's hit hard out into left field, but Borjas waits for it out in left field and makes the play and gets the 3rd out. It's now 19 wins on the season for the Oaks as Lozano is able to work through traffic and keep 2 stranded. And the Oaks will head into the break on a positive note. With back-to-back wins versus the Arroyo Seco Saints, it's now 4 straight wins this season versus the Saints, and we'll bring you into the booth here. And well, certainly a tough game for the Saints. They're probably one they want to have back. You go over. I really look back at that 4th inning where they loaded the bases and weren't able to score a single run. And that was kind of the story of the day for them. They weren't able to capitalize with the runner in scoring position, but give credit to the Oaks pitchers.
The Oaks pitchers were lights out and outstanding. You got Cody Carson throwing 5 shutout innings, Regan Gale stopping the damage, and Chris Lozano coming in throwing 3 innings in relief. The Saints gave him a little bit of trouble. He faced some traffic in that 9th inning, allowing a run, but Oaks pitching was dominating today. And I think both of these games, yesterday and today, Saints would want both of those games back. They made too many mistakes in yesterday's game that cost them the game, and today they had opportunities to score, and that first run in the 9th inning was certainly long overdue. But yeah, now they're have a non-winning record, 13-14, and Oaks 19 wins. Good note to go out on to the All-Star break on, and we'll have the updates for the All-Star game by the end of today, hopefully.
Yeah, it was a little too late for the Arroyo Seco Saints, who now dropped to 13-14, and it's the Oaks who moved to 19-9 on the season. Well, it'll be one final chance for the Saints and the Oaks to match up after the All-Star break. They will face off on Thursday at Jackie Robinson Memorial Field with a 6:05 first pitch start time. Alongside Sammy Fawn, I've been Gio Canis, and we thank you and hope you guys have